Okay, hello, welcome back to my channel. I have been uploading a lot of book videos, I know, but that's because I like to read and I have a lot of books. So today's video is going to be reorganizing my bookshelf. I love it, it's color coded, it looks great, but it's just not like conducive to actually how I want my books to be when I am trying to get a book or give someone a book. As you can see, it's beautiful and it looks great from the front, but there's not quite enough space, so I do have some books stacked behind the back, which is probably going to happen either way. But what really bothers me is that books that are by the same author or in a series are not next to each other. They didn't fall into the same color category or yada yada yada. They're not next to each other. So I feel like I want to group them by author or series or genre and kind of do it that way. Still maybe trying to keep a color scheme, but it's just gonna have to be different. So it might not look as pretty, but it's gonna feel prettier to my mind. So that is what today's goal is, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through my bookshelf and how things are and what they look like, and we're gonna do it together. So that's today's task. I've lit a candle, I've got my speaker, I'm going to turn on a podcast, and I'm going to talk you through what's happening as I go. But first we have to take everything off the shelves. So let's do that first. I'm still so dark, but the shelf looks nice behind me, so we're gonna go with that. I'm just gonna take things off. I have these like clear acrylic. Here, let me take one and show you. I have like clear acrylic bookends, and they take up as little space as possible, and they're clear so that I can have as much space for books as I need. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Cue me taking everything off. So here we have a dusty, oh so dusty, empty shelf. Get that off. And I'm just gonna pick and say this shelf is going to be like fantasy, dystopian, basically not romance. That's what this shelf is going to be. So I have this series by Marissa Meyer, the Renegade series. I have all of them. This is the last one, and it sadly does not look like the other ones, but we're going to try and do those right here. If I can find, here they are. The other ones. The first one, Renegades, there. The second one, Arch Enemies, next to it, and then Supernova. So now, although this was on a blue shelf and these were on a black shelf, they're next to each other because it's a series, it's a trilogy, and I want them to be next to each other. So that's kind of what the shelf's going to be. Cue a time lapse of me putting a series right here. Okay, done with this shelf. I've got Marissa Meyer. These are all Marissa Meyer books, 2 different series. The Cinder series and then the Renegade series. And then I've got 2 duology, and then a single book because it was all that would fit right here. These are all kind of similar color schemes, so I still think they look good together, but they're at least by series. So moving on to the next shelf. This shelf done. Next up, I think this is gonna start to be like rom-coms right here. Okay, done with that one. Like, does that look good? I don't know. Okay, let's do a bookshelf tour. Up at the top, we have books I've read that are good, but not like my favorites ever. Probably like 3 or 4 stars. And some color organization is happening here. They're fiction. Most of them are rom-coms. Actually, I think they're all like rom-com central. So this is rom-coms that are 3 or 4 stars on the top shelf. Second to the top, I have 5-star reads. These are my favorite books of all time. This is like my Allie Hazelwoods, my Emily Henrys, my Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Flat Share, Better Than the Movies, Circe, The Bodyguard, and then New Morning Mercies, which is a Devo book that I love. So that's like 5 stars right there. Love those books. Can add more. There's a little bit of space on there. Next, this is my very full rom-com shelf. Color organized, pinks to purples and blues on the other side. These are like just your base, like it's just rom-coms. Some of them are a little more spicy. There's some Tessa Bailey on there. The Spanish Love Deception. There's another Tessa Bailey over here. The Hating Game. But some of these are more like cutesy, like Today, Tonight, Tomorrow is like young adult. So that's like all mixed in rom-coms that I really enjoyed. Next shelf is kind of mostly fantasy, except for these guys right here, which are like a mystery series. And I'm actually reading the second one right now, so it's sitting over here. But these are a mystery series. And then I've got the Six of Crows series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and A Court of Silver Flames is next to it because it's huge. I have the hardback, so it doesn't like match up and look good next to the others, so I just like have it next to. Then I have Serpent and Dove. There's more than 2, but I only have the first 2. And then I have the Iron King, which also there's more than 2, but I only have the first 2. So those are like right there. Then I've got my Marissa Meyer shelf. This is a duology right here. There was only 2 and I read both of them and I really enjoyed them. Chaos Walking, which I started and never finished. So it's a DNF. These are all like, these are fantasy. This is like dystopian. This is like pirates. I don't know, but I loved them. And then on the bottom, this is like random. These 3 are the Red Queen, Victoria Aveyard. I love them. Very good series. And then the rest of these are like books that are good but have no other connection to them. This is like a Christmas book. The Female Persuasion just looks so pretty, and it's like a good book. Cranfield, again, just doesn't have anything to go with. Some of these are like a poetry book. The Defining Decade is like self-help, and then there's Midnight Library that's kind of hidden right there, and that one's really good. It just like doesn't have a home, so that's kind of like what's on the bottom. Now, the back side of the shelf I also organized. So this pile that's behind my 5-star reads is like hardbacks and just like fiction books, but not necessarily romance books that I have not read yet. This is fiction books that I've read that I didn't love, so they're hiding. And this is my non-romance TBR. So there's like, this is a mystery, The Younger Wife. There's some like murder mystery. Outlander is down there. So this is like non-romance TBR. Romance TBR. And then like on the bottom shelf behind is just books that were terrible and that I hated. So that's why they're down there, because you can't get to them and I didn't like them. And then on top I just have like some planners and journals, and like a few books that I've read before, but this is just like more random, like planners, journals, things like that. And that's how the bottom of the back of the shelves, I mean, looks. That is my bookshelf tour and me organizing them. Now they are at least by genre. It still looks good color coordination wise. I have like my 5 stars all in the same place, series are together, all that stuff. So proud of that, and I think it looks good. Still, I just need another bookshelf, but I just don't have space in my room. If you haven't seen my room tour video, watch that. But I just don't have space for another bookshelf. And there's really nothing that I can do about the fact that I just don't have space. So I'm trying not to buy any more books. I have a Kindle, so I'm trying to use my Kindle and just stick with the physical TBR that I already have, because I have a lot of books that I haven't read, and get new books on my Kindle. And I think if I really like a book and give it 5 stars, then maybe I would buy a physical copy of it to put on my shelf. But if it's not 5 stars, I won't buy a physical copy. I'm sticking to that. I'm going to try to, at least until I have a place with a little bit more room so I can get another bookshelf, because I really would like another one. I just don't have space. So that is me reorganizing my bookshelf. I hope this was interesting. You got to see some of my favorite books, and my favorite series, see what I've been reading, what I plan on reading. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.